Hey guys, so in this video we'll be looking at the payoffs of option contracts, derivative contracts, right? So could have also included futures as well, but since there is no cash exchanged in the outset of a futures contract, and it is a zero sum game, it's either this for the buyer and this for the seller. So it's either goes like something like this. If we draw a chart, if this might be the payoff for a buyer, so the exactly water image would be the payoff for a seller. So it more or less revolves around it. But for options we have different payoffs. So let's start with the definition. Right? Many of you know, I'm assuming most of you know what an options contract is. But for the uninitiated, option contracts is nothing but an option contract gives you a right but not an obligation to buy or sell uh, any option instrument which derives its value from the underlying instrument. For example, as I have said, option comes in two types. The first we have a call option and the second we have a put option. So long positions have rights, short positions have obligations. Call is buy, put is sell. What does it mean? Options come in two contexts. Let's start with the call option. A call option gives you the right but not the obligation to buy or sell any underlying instrument. Right. So when do you use it? Like, why, you might ask yourself, why do you even use options? Right. You must have seen most people speculating in options. People make money in Bank Nifty. People make money in Nifty, Bank Nifty. Um, single instrument contracts. Many people make money on it, but why? Like, what is the use of it? Is it only for speculation? Not exactly. The You have to understand, derivatives was first introduced for only hedging purposes. When you buy an option contract for a fraction of the amount, you get an exposure to a whole entity. Let me explain. Suppose you have bought. Suppose you think that any stock, for example, let's say Adani, Adani Ports. Suppose you believe that Adani Ports stock might increase in the future, right? You did your fundamental analysis, and you came to the conclusion that Adani might go up in the future. Now there are two ways you can. You can either go into the cash market, or we call the spot market, and buy 100 shares of Adani Ports and make money out of it when it increases. But obviously you have to pay 100 shares worth of money, which is a lot, right? 100, 1000 shares, whatever. But similarly, for a fraction of this amount, you can buy a call option of Adani, which gives you the same risk exposure. Same exposure. You have to pay some amount of margin, some amount of fraction, which is known as an initial margin. It is calculated by your broker, and you can get the same risk exposure as would you have got via stocks. And if it goes up, guess what? You have made your money. And the thing about option contracts is they come in lots. So I think the lot, I don't know the lot size, but more or less it's 100 shares per lot, all that stuff. So it comes in lots. Similarly, now as you see in call option, put option. So the call is for a person who has a bullish point of view. Who is bullish? Right? What does bullish means? Who believes that the market is having an uptrend. Who is bullish And the put option is for someone who is bearish, who makes money in the falling markets. There is someone who thinks that something is going up, and the put option, the point of view of a put option buyer is a bearish view, that it believes that the stock is going down. Now, one more thing. Suppose uh, you want to buy stocks, right? You are a portfolio manager and you have certain stocks of Adani in your portfolio. And let's just say, for example, recently Adani was under huge scrutiny because of market regulations by some hedge funds. So it has come under really huge scrutiny, and you already have a huge position on Adani ports, and you don't want to actually sell that such a big position because you think market will correct itself somewhere in the future. But again, you are afraid. So in order to hedge your position, what you can do is to buy put option. So you hedge your portfolio. For example, if you hold around, like for example 100 500 shares of Adani and you don't want to sell it, what you'll do is you will make a hedge. You can't make a proper hedge, but you will sort of make a correlated hedge of Adani puts using put option. You will buy 2 3 lots, match the size, and whatever differences you make. For example, if the stock actually went down, right? If the stock Adani actually went down by XYZ%, you will still make the same amount of money in the put option. You are still going to make money in the put option because a put option buyer makes money in the falling markets. So even though you are losing money in the cash market, you will make money in the derivative segment. So that's the basics of hedging. That's how hedging works. Now, obviously, in this video, we're not talking about hedging. We're talking about uh, long put, long call, long put, and short put, and the payoffs for it. Right. So again, we have long call, short call. Now, what is a short call? What is a short call? It is opposite. So you have to understand derivatives as zero sum game. Zero sum game. For example, for a person to gain $100, someone has to lose $100. Now, when every time you get into a long position, someone on the other hand is writing a contract. He's a contract writer. Basically, he's selling the contract to you. So we call that a short, a seller. Similarly, even for long, if you're a buyer of a long contract, we also have someone who shorts the contract. So we have a seller. Again, call means buy, put means, so this is the market view. Now let's come to obligations and rights. So you might have heard many times people say option is a contract which has a obligation, right, or right obligation. What does it mean? You don't understand. It's easy. Right means it's your right. If you want, you can let go if it is the contract is in not your favor. If it's in your favor, you will choose the right to buy it. Right, that's what you call a right. It's on you. If you want, you can do it. But an obligation does not mean that. Obligation means you have to. Obligation doesn't mean you have a right. Obligation means you have to. If the person in the long position has chosen his right to take the contract, the person in the short position have the obligation. He must oblige. So that's what you call short positions have obligations. Now let's come to the main part, that is a long call. What is a long call? Now, suppose, as I said earlier before, a person will take a long call if he's bullish. For example, let's just say Nifty, right? Let's just say Nifty is trading at 1000 points. 1000 points. This is how Nifty is trading. Nifty can go up, Nifty can go down. So if you view the option chain, it will give you lots of strike prices. So if this is 1000, it could be 1000, 1100, it could be 1200, 1300. It could go down, that is, it could be, could be 1000. It could be, let's just say, it could be 1100, 1200, 1300. This could be 900, 800, 700, 600. This is how current trading. This is a upward movement and this is a downward movement. So this is what we call a strike. So please note, moving forward, I would be denoting strike as SK. I would be noting strike as SK and spot as SO because it is going to really help understanding. SK is your strike and SO is your spot. Hope it's visible. Now, so this is currently where Nifty is trading and this is your strike price. You have to understand, if you were to buy a call option, you have a bullish view. So you might take some in the money call option. What does in the money mean? In the money means it has intrinsic value. That's what we call in the money. We have something known as in the money, at the money, and out of the money. So out of the money means if you were to enter into the contract at that moment, out of the money means it does not hold any intrinsic value. So at the money means it's literally at the money. So if the strike, if Nifty is trading at 1000 and if you buy the strike of 1000, it is at the money. In the money means it has some intrinsic value, IV. That means if you were to use your right after buying the contract, get into the contract, you will get you will get a positive PNL. That's for a different day. For example, if I bought a in the money strike of 1000, 1100, 1100, right? And right, I bought the strike of 1100 and Nifty moves in the upward direction. Nifty started trading above. For example, Nifty ended at 1300. So my profit would be 1300 minus 1100. This would be 200 bucks is my profit. This is how basically you make money in the call option. Now this is the payoff. Now we actually come into the P&L side of it. Because you get right, you have to pay a premium, something known as a premium or an option price. Or an option price, what you say. So in this chart we have let's just say on the below, for example, it is Nifty at expiry and we have PNL here on this bar, and here we have on the y-axis we have Nifty expiry, versus on the x-axis we have PNL. So as you can see, at the beginning it's at negative because we paid 10 rupees of option premium. You pay for a right. Okay, we paid 10 rupees to purchase the right of a call option. So that's why we have a negative 10 rupees. But as we predicted, the market moved in our favor. The market increased by this point and we are in positive PNL, right? We are in positive PNL, and that's how we make money. So as you can see, since the strike is at 200, so this is our 200, but you don't make money at 200 because when you reach the strike, that's not the break-even point, because at that point we are exactly short by the money we paid. That is the option price. After that, you start making money. After that, whatever it is, it gets into your PNL. So what you have to understand is payoff for the payoff for a long call is something like this. That is, you start below, and then if the market is in your favor, you make money above. Now, a short call is just below that. A short call is just also one more thing. You have to the formula for a short call. The formula for a long call is very simple. It is maximum of 0 or spot minus strike. This is the formula for a long call. Try to understand, because spot is going to be increased, right? You put a strike and then you spot increased, and whatever is the gap, that's your profit, right? Because what happens is at expiry, or if you're taking it till expiry, what happens is um, at expiry you use your right to buy the you use your right to buy the stock, the underlying. You use your right to buy the underlying at the strike price, and the seller of the contract have to purchase the stock at the spot price and sell it to you for cheap, and then you can sell it in the cash market for whatever spot price is there. Now this is how basically the fundamental is. Now obviously most people don't carry till expiry. Most of the these are cash settled. That means people just do netting and then get out of the trade before it expires. But this is how it actually should work. This is why it makes sense. That means the seller of the contract is supposed to give you the underlying for the amount for the strike price, and that difference is your profit because you are getting it for cheap, and then you sell it in the cash market for whatever spot price is there, right? So this is a formula for long call. Now when we get to short call, what is short call? It is exact opposite of long call, because if I was a long call, there must be someone who has a short call, right? This is literally the water image. If this was the long call, the water image of this would be this. That means for a person to make money in the short call. Also one more thing, in long call your profit could be unlimited. Think about it. The market could just go and go and go. Obviously it's not like unlimited, there is obviously some limit, but we say the profit of a long call is unlimited and your loss is limited up to premium. Whatever you pay the premium, suppose on the day of expiry the market did not move, the market went down, market just went back to 180, 160, 140, whatever. So you're not going to use your right and you're just going to let it expire, so you lost your premium, that was 10 rupees. Similarly, for a person on a short call, his profit, the person on the short call, his profit is limited. It's limited. is not going to make unlimited profits. Its profit is limited, but its loss is unlimited. Right? Exact opposite. Don't even try to think. It's literally the opposite. So he will make money. The person selling the shorting the call will make money if the market were to fall. As I said, if the market were to fall, go to the side 200, 180, if the Nifty starts falling 200, 180, 160, 140, so then at only then he will make money. If Nifty has an upward trend, then he will start losing all the money. Then you will gain that. So this is basically what remains. There is nothing much to learn on this. Now let's learn long put. Long put, as I said before, a person buying a put has a bearish view. That means he feels like market is falling. Markets are falling. Right. So again we have Nifty below and we have PNL here. Now again, if you're again you will pay a premium, right? You will यहाँ पे the option premium is 14 rupees. So you will pay some sort of premium that is, so you will be negative. But the moment market starts falling below your strike price, then you start making money. Then you get into a positive PNL. So this would be a break-even point. This is when you start making money. For example, if the strike was 140, so at 140 you are 14 rupees ka loss. But after that, when the market started falling, your PNL started increasing. Your PNL starts having a positive cash flow, and then you start making money. So this is how long put works. Again, the formula for long put would be opposite of long call. Now here you will see maximum of max 0, comma. Now here you will see strike minus spot. Why I'm saying 0? Because think about it now. If on expiry, if the contract is in not your favor, we're just going to leave it. That's why 0. Right? Because if your cash flow is 0, positive cash flow is 0, then obviously you're going to not take the right to buy the contract, to get into the contract. So you're just going to let it expire, and your loss, maximum loss, is going to the premium, and your profits is unlimited. Again, on a long call. In a long call, obviously your profits are unlimited and your losses are up to your premium you have paid. Now, as you have seen here, I have written strike minus spot, and above I have written spot minus strike. Obviously, because in a put, markets are falling. Markets are falling. You took a strike. Markets fell by some points. That gap is your profit. If you're confused on the long put, let me just once again tell you. In a long put, you are buying the right. You are buying the right to sell an asset on a strike price. So for example, again, if we have Adani ports and I got into a long call, right? So what I am doing is I'm getting into an agreement with the seller, with the other person, that I am buying a right to sell an asset, sell the stocks of Adani at a agreed strike price. So for example, if I have bought a long put and someone had sold me the short put, and this was the strike price, right? 1000. And on expiry, the spot market or the cash market, Adani was trading at 700. Now, what is going to happen is on expiry, I'm going to use my right to sell Adani stocks on 1000 rupees. I don't understand this. Adani is trading at 700 on spot at cash market. So, as per our agreement, what I will do, I will buy Adani stocks from spot market for 700 rupees, and I'm going to sell it to the short put guy for 1000 rupees, and the spread is going to be my profit. That's how 300 rupees I'm in profit. Obviously, you have to less the premium paid, but this is the fundamentals. Okay. Similarly, short put, now again, as I said, it's literally a water image. So for long put, if we have something like this, a guy selling you writing the put option is going to have a payoff for this. You can read it yourself if you don't understand it. Now let's come to an example of option payoff example. At expiration, underlying asset price is, so the spot is $29 and the strike is $26. What is the payoff for the put and the call? What is the payoff for the put and the call? Again, um, we are looking at buyers, so obviously they are long. Long. Now let's look at the via payoffs, right? So if I'm getting it buying a long call, this is going to be payoff. This gap, this gap is the premium that I'm going to pay. Okay, and this is the strike of $26. Okay, at expiration the strike is, or else we can use a formula for the we know the payoff with the long call formula is maximum of 0 spot minus strike, and the long buyer is maximum of 0 comma strike minus spot. Strike minus spot because markets are falling, call buyer, spot minus strike because markets are rising. Now here the payoff would be, as I've said, spot minus strike. What is spot? 29 minus 26. That's your answer. And for the put buyer, we have strike minus spot. That is 26 minus 29. So 0 comma 26 minus 29, 0 comma minus 3, and here we have 3, 0 comma 3. What is the maximum of this? $3. We're in $3 profit. What is the maximum of this? 0. That means you're going to let go of the put option. So here you have loss and you're in profit of $3. Again, let's see one last example before we conclude this lecture. Assume that a put and a call on an XYZ is this and this. The call initially cost $2 and the put cost, okay. So again, let's draw a graph. Call buyer, put buyer. So both are long. This is the graph payoff for a long call. And the call initially cost $2. So this gap is my $2. This is for the call. And for put, again, similar graph. Put, yeah. This is the graph for the call, and the graph for the put would be something like this. Right? Put costs $3. Means $3 is to buy the right. In call, you have it is $2 to buy the right. I know my formula is maximum of 0 spot minus strike. Here is maximum of 0 strike minus spot. Okay. Now we can solve it on our own. It's easy. Just okay. It's going to be what is the profit on the long call and the long put if the price of XYZ on stock expiration is 28. So this is spot. This is your strike. Profit to the call buyer. What is the profit to the call buyer? Think about it. It is spot minus strike, maximum of 0, spot minus strike. What is a spot? I know the spot is $28. 28 minus 35 minus 2, 0 comma. So obviously this is a negative number, so I'm just going to like it. And profit to the put buyer. The profit to the put buyer is going to be 35 minus 28 minus 3. Right. So this is going to be in positive of $5. Right. So we will use this option. Right. I hope you understood the payoffs. So that is it.